Mark Ashburn was a young man, almost the youngest on the school staff, and very decidedly the best looking. He was tall and well made, with black hair and eloquent dark eyes, which had the gift of expressing rather more than a rigid examination would have found inside him. Just now, for example, a sentimental observer would have read in their glance round the bare, deserted room the passionate protest of a soul conscious of genius against the hard fate which had placed him there, whereas he was in reality merely wondering whose hat was on the row of pegs opposite. But if Mark was not a genius, there was a brilliancy in his manner that had something very captivating about it, an easy confidence in himself that had the more merit because it had hitherto met with extremely small encouragement. He dressed carefully, which was not without effect upon his class, for boys, without being over-scrupulous in the matter of their own costume, are apt to be critical of the garments of those in authority over them. To them he was an awful swell, though he was not actually overdressed. It was only that he liked to walk home along Piccadilly with the air of a man who had just left his club, and had nothing particular to do. He was not unpopular with his boys. He did not care twopence about any of them, but he felt it pleasant to be popular, and his careless good nature secured that result without much effort on his part. They had a great respect for his acquirements too, speaking of him among themselves as jolly clever when he liked to show it. For Mark was not above giving occasional indications of deep learning which were highly impressive. He went out of his way to do it, and was probably aware that the learning thus suggested would not stand any very severe test, but then there was no one there to apply it. Any curiosity as to the last hat and coat on the wall was satisfied while he still sat at his desk, for the door, with its upper panels of corrugated glass protected by stout wire network, no needless precaution there, opened just then, and a small boy appeared, looking rather pale and uncomfortable, and holding a long sheet of blue foolscap in one hand. "Hello, Langton," said Mark, as he saw him. "So it's you. Why, haven't you gone home yet, eh? How's that?" "Please, sir," began the boy dolorously, "I've got into an awful row. I'm run in, sir." "Ah!" said Mark. "Sorry for you. What is it?" "Well, I didn't do anything," said he. "It was like this. I was going along the passage, and just passing old Jemmy's, I mean Mr. Shelford's, door, and it was open, and there was a fellow standing outside, a bigger fellow than me, and he caught hold of me by the collar, and ran me right in, and shut the door and bolted, and Mr. Shelford came at me and boxed my ears, and said it wasn't the first time, and I should have a detention card for it, and so he gave me this, and I'm up to go to the doctor with it, and get it signed when I'm done." And the boy held out the paper, at the top of which Mark read in old Shelford's tremulous hand, "Langton, 100 lines for outrageous impertinence. J. Shelford." "If I go up, you know, sir," said the boy, with a trembling lip, "I'm safe for a swishing." "Well, I'm afraid you are," agreed Mark. "But you'd better make haste, hadn't you, or they'll close the detention room, and you'll only be worse off for waiting, you see." Mark was really rather sorry for him, though he had, as had been said, no great liking for boys. But this particular one, a round-faced, freckled boy, with honest eyes and a certain refinement in his voice and bearing that somehow suggested that he had a mother or sister who was a gentlewoman, was less objectionable to Mark than his fellows. Still, he could not enter into his feelings sufficiently to guess why he was being appealed to in this way. Young Langton half turned to go, dejectedly enough. Then he came back and said, "Please, sir, can't you help me? I shouldn't mind the swishing so much if I'd done anything. But I haven't." "What can I do?" asked Mark. "If you wouldn't mind speaking to Mr. Shelford for me, he'd listen to you, and he won't to me."